drop because that fountain is big.
I like this.
There's a whole other that.
No, it's on.
It's empty now.
I mean, not
I just did.
you did the house.
I did one today.
Was it a big? Okay. 'Cause, see, I see them as they're broken down. And who builds up to it.
Okay.
So I can see it broken down. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's how I knew they were starting to come. So I'm like, well, let's tell him because Bernadette gives them to me. And they 6 months old. I said, well, damn, Sean got you. She said, no, they only $10 to 15. I just throw 'em. I said, you can't do that because then they said that we're trying to.
Yeah, I got it. It's cool. It's cool.
1 minute? Is that 1 minute? Half a minute?
Go ahead.
We had that conversation a week ago.
We can do that.
Tell me when you're ready and I'll call this thing to order. The October 17th, 2023 meeting of the City Council is called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Clerk Lesko, will you please call the roll?
Will do. Alderman Redpath.
Here.
Alderman Gregory.
Here.
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Rockford.
Here.
Alderwoman Purchase.
Here.
Alderwoman Nortriano.
Here.
Alderman Carlson.
Here.
Alderwoman Connolly.
Present.
Alderman Donlin.
Here.
Alderman Hanauer.
Here.
Mayor Busher.
Present.
Mayor Busher, a quorum is present.
Thank you, Clerk Lesko. The civility pledge is in the interest of civility. I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective. We have no proclamations this evening, so we're going to go right into our zoning agenda. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2023-034 for the property located at 1713 and 1725 West Jefferson Street and PIN number 14-29.0-254-022, part of. The petitioners are CBC LLC. The present zoning classification is B2 General Business Service District, Section 155.034. The requested zoning relief is reclassification to B1 Highway Business Service District, Section 155.033, conditioned upon the petitioner's completed purchase of the real estate from the current fee title holder within 1 year of the date of the approval of this ordinance. Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff recommendation is approval. Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is accept the recommendation of the Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff and approve as submitted. The chair will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. The voting is now open. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2023-035 for the property located at 1210 East Lenox Avenue. The petitioners are J&L Properties IL Incorporated. Present zoning classification is R2 Single Family and Duplex Residence District, Section 155.017. The requested zoning relief is a variance of Section 155.157, discontinuation of use to allow the continued use of the property as a 2 single-family residential dwelling units on one lot of record. The non-conforming residential use of 2 residential dwelling units on the lot discontinued when the detached dwelling unit was vacant and ceased active and continuous operations for a period of 6 months. The Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff recommendation is approval limited to the 2 existing residences. Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is accept the recommendation of the Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff. Chair will entertain a motion.
I accept the motion to approve this.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff recommendation. Any discussion? Okay, voting will now be open. All those in favor vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2023-036 for the property located at 121 West Oak Street. The petitioner is Terry L. Nelson. The present zoning classification is R2 Single Family and Duplex Residence District, Section 155.017. The requested zoning relief is a variance of Section 155.157, discontinuance of use to allow the construction of a single-family dwelling on the property. Previously, a triplex existed on the south front of the lot, demolished in 2016, and a single-family residence at the rear, which did not have utilities for a period of 5 to 6 years, demolished in 2023. This variance would allow 1 single-family dwelling to be constructed. Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff recommendation is approval. Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is accept the recommendation of the Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff. Chair will now entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission staff.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the recommendation of the Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff. Any discussion on this? Okay, the voting will now be open. All those in favor, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2023-037 for the property located at 218 East Lawrence Avenue. The petitioners are Growth International Incorporated. The present zoning classification is R5B, General Residence and Office District, Section 155.021. The requested zoning relief is a variance of Section 155.056, minimum lot area per dwelling unit to allow a duplex residence dwelling unit on a lot containing 3,850 square feet of lot area instead of the 6,000 square feet of lot area required per code, and a variance of Section 155.055, minimum lot width for residences to allow a duplex residential dwelling unit on a lot with 38.50 feet width instead of the 50 feet width per code. Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff recommendation is approval. Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is accept the recommendation of the Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff. Chair will now entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we accept as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff recommendation. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. That will conclude the zoning portion of our meeting. Thank you, Matt and Linda. The chair will now recognize Treasurer Redpath Fager for presentation of the financial report.
Thank you, Mayor Busher. The Treasurer's Report for the Corporate Fund for the month of September, beginning balance $73,498,760. We took in total receipts of $21,105,715. We had total disbursements in the month of September totaling $27,394,493, which left the corporate fund ending balance in the month of September at $67,209,982. The ending general fund balance includes $18,320,828, which is the September ending balance of the ARPA money. Thank you. That concludes my report.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the financial report.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the financial report? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. Any questions from the council members on the OBM contract report? We have purchasing agent Lesko here. Okay, seeing none, we're going to move into the presentations portion of our meeting tonight. The chair would first like to introduce to you Chief of Staff Disco with the Mayor's Youth Council.
Mayor, alderwomen, aldermen, everybody else, this is your mayor's youth council, and I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and give a little bit of what they're going to do.
And some of you are a president, secretary, or vice president, so please give us your title when you come up too, if you have one of those.
Go.
I'm Evan Powell. I'm a sophomore at Pleasant Plains.
I'm Carter Hood. I'm a senior at Southeast High School.
I'm Caitlin Turner. I'm a sophomore at Springfield High School.
My name is Josephine Ake. I am a sophomore at Springfield High School. I'm secretary, but I'm acting as president for today's meeting.
My name is Anijah Wallace. I'm a junior at Lanphier High School, and I'm the vice president of the Mary's Youth Council.
I know that's right.
I'm Lucy Graham. I'm a junior at Lanphier High School.
I'm Madison Marshall. I'm also a junior at Lanphier High School.
Look at those lions, man.
Yeah.
My name's Mason Haig, and I'm a junior at Rochester High School.
My name is Sophia Garcia Van Dyke, and I'm a sophomore at Rochester High School.
My name is Stan Vasic. I'm a sophomore at SHG.
Stand the man.
You ever had any time in this there, Sam? Dan?
My name is Luke Cycle, and I'm a senior at New Berlin High School.
I'm Eva Ritchie. I'm a junior at New Berlin High School.
My name's Madison Crozier, and I'm a junior at New Berlin High School.
I'm Kate Gross, and I am a freshman at Rochester High School.
I'm Abby McDowell, and I'm a junior at Sacred Heart Griffin High School.
So as the aldermen and alderwomen can see, we have all of our schools represented here, which is amazing and great. And then they are currently working on their project, putting together as a group what they want their project for the year to be. So they'll be back to see you.
As the Mayor's Youth Council, we will use our platform to accomplish our goal of creating a positive impact in the community. We plan to implement our ideas through acts of community service and potential projects. Our team has come up with the ideas of clothing, food, and hygiene drives, as well as projects focusing on addressing youth homelessness and the beautification of Springfield. We will act as an example of youth leadership and use our actions to promote a betterment of Springfield. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome job. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Oh, wow.
Thank y'all.
Get out of here, man. Tell your mom off.
Good job, Lions.
Equally as important, but less glamorous, we now will bring up the healthcare premiums for the city of Springfield. We're going to have some presentations on healthcare premiums. Not near as exciting as meeting our youth council, but it's needed to be done. So you'll have Director Baker here to explain to you what we're doing this evening.
Hi, Alderman and Alderwoman, Mayor. It is so exciting as an HR person to see that future talent, isn't it? There's a couple that I'd like to just tie and rope right in right now. But we're here to talk about two ordinances as it relates to our insurance premiums. So we have two ordinances that were introduced concerning insurance premiums. There was one for active union employees that had a 1% premium increase and an increased deductible and out-of-pocket maximum. And the other was for active non-union employees and retirees For the active non-union employees, there was a 1% increase in premiums and an increase in deductible and out-of-pocket for the POS. And then for retirees, there was a 3% premium increase and an increase in the deductible and out-of-pocket maximum. So those ordinances reflected the actuarial findings of plan cost increases, and they have now been retained in committee. But in discussing the premium increases, there was a renewed interest in the high deductible plan that we have, and often it's called a consumer-driven health plan. They have significantly larger deductibles that must be met before any benefits are paid out, and they come with a much lower premium. To further incent participation, the city funds health saving plans for active employees. So HSAs, or health saving plan accounts, are a lot like flexible spending accounts, but they allow for the city to contribute, and they have much more generous rollover capabilities. So we do provide education on both of these plan options. We do that with in-person sessions. We also have an on-demand online education video that people can watch, and we send out information with every open enrollment. And one of the concerns that we've heard from retirees is that they are not eligible for this health saving account city contribution. And they're right, they're not. But OBM Director Ramona Metzger came up with a very creative option, and that was that we would look at reducing the premiums for the high deductible account by the same amount that we are contributing in the HSA for active employees, which would reduce that premium cost. So this option might answer some of the concerns that were discussed at prior meetings, and also might incent some of our retirees to move to the high deductible plan. And that would be something that would really excite Mike Allwood, who is our labor co-chair. I didn't think I'd ever met a fan of high deductible health plans that is a greater fan than Mike Allwood. So I think that's safe. And so Mike, by request of a couple of you, is going to share more information about the creative option, and also share some information just about high deductible plans generally. But we wanted to make sure that we set some context about here, ready, go. So I will turn it over to Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Director Baker.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Allwood, the Labor Co-Chair of the Joint Labor Management Committee, but just for the record, we're not allowed, because of the previous lawsuit, to oversee this directly. But since we are the subject matter experts for these plans, we always try to help you guys in the administration. Anytime you want us to help, and we're always happy to do that. So basically, it's like the director just said, we have the difference in these plans, and I have handed you guys all, passed out a handout so you can follow along. And we'll go to the first page here. So this is a basic comparison of the retiree health care plan, and I broke it down by single, by retiree plus one, and by retiree family. And it gives you the premium times the number of months that they're there. It gives you the maximum out of pocket for each of the plans, and it gives you the potential savings in the far right corner. And as you can see, the value in there with the deductible is in parentheses, which means the high deductible plan has a higher deductible than the point of service plan. But then it also breaks down the total cost, maximum out of pocket in each of these plans, and the total tax savings that the members can enjoy if they utilize the HSA option. And then it gives you a total, with the tax advantage, potential savings for the retiree members in each of these branches. Now, is this going to be the exact number for everyone? No. Everyone's medical bills are different. but we have done some pretty in-depth studies, and for about 90% of the people in our plans, they're going to enjoy some portion of this savings. The people at both ends of the spectrum are the people that are going to realize the most. If you're completely healthy, you never go to the doctor, you pay the lower premium, you put the money in your HSA, which you can use for other items, just like your flex account, for your dental cleanings, for your eyeglasses, for a chiropractic appointment, for your durable medical goods. It creates a very lucrative way for people to shift part of their medical costs from their pocketbook to the federal government. You would have been paying this money in federal tax. Now, just as a clarification, I use the 15% tax bracket because that's about the lowest tax bracket any of our retirees would fall into. If you're one of the people that goes up higher, the 20, 25, 28%, the tax savings that you would realize grows by the same percentage. And I also used the minimum contribution to your HSA just to cover the maximum out of pocket for the high deductible plan. Under the IRS rules, an individual can put $4,150, and if you're over 55, you can add an additional $1,000 to $5,150. You get the tax savings on that entire amount. And it allows you to build up a health savings account. When you turn 65 and you switch over to Medicare, you can use that money to pay your deductibles, your supplemental premiums. It's your money. Nobody ever takes that money. Nobody regulates that money. The only time you have to justify it is at tax time with the IRS, that you spend it on eligible expenses just like you do with the flex account. If you go to Walgreens and buy something over the counter and it's got an F at the end of the receipt, you could pay for that out of your HSA account. So I've tried to make this pretty simple, and you can see, the savings for the single retiree has a potential savings of $1,511 per year for the retiree if they elect the high deductible plan. And I should go back. So these numbers are all based on the alternative premium example that Director of OBM came up with. So this is if we elect to take the HSA contribution and remove it from the premium by that amount. So that's what all of these numbers are based upon. I think it is, I personally believe it's the best option. And if you look at the Retiree Plus One, you can see that the maximum savings, if you have people who either don't use their plan at all or they max it out, could be as high as $5,000 a year for your Plus One employees. So that's a pretty significant return to your pocket for our retirees. That would make a big difference for some of our retirees. It's been hard to convince them to switch. Even some of the people in my own department that get to talk to me every day, I've showed them, I've gone into their personal medical records, I've done the math, I've shown them how much money it's costing them every year with their actual numbers. And they still feel like we're trying to pull a bait and switch on them. It is not the case, I promise. I would never put anything out there that wasn't good for our people. I'm going to be a retiree in 290 days. I'm not trying to, convince myself in the end here. So if you switch to the next page here. So this shows the potential savings for the family. And I explained to Alderman Rockford before the meeting, we were talking. So under the IRS regulations, they only recognize an employee-only or a member-only single plan, and then anything that is more than one person under the IRS rules is a plus one. Now, we break it down actuarially and do a premium for retiree plus one, but under the IRS rules, that is a family plan. So under the director's model, she used the family HSA contribution because those employees would have been on the family plan as an employee. and she reduced the +1 premiums as well. So we use the same deduction on the +1 and on the family premiums. And you can see that the family plan also has a potential savings of over $5,000 a year. This is just a matter of, you're going to take your money, do you want to put it in somebody else's bucket, or do you want to keep it in your bucket and then only spend it if you need to? And at the same time, shift for the family plan, if you just do the minimum amount and you're in the lowest tax bracket, almost $1,000 of your out-of-pocket spend is shifted to your federal tax line item on your taxes. So just for an exercise, because I've had several of you guys ask, okay, so healthcare costs what healthcare costs. How can the high deductible plan be cheaper for our members that are on it? And I said, well, there's several things that play into it, but one of the biggest definitions or the biggest issues in it is the shift to federal tax savings. So if you were to take every one of our retirees, which I have in the bottom there on the column, and they were all to choose to switch over to the high deductible plan in each of the categories, single, retired +1, and family, and they just put the minimum amount in their HSA to cover their out-of-pockets, and it was a horrible year, and everybody hit their max. $382,560 that's coming out of the employees and the city's pockets right now would be shifted to the federal government. And I didn't put it on your slide, but after I seen that number, I was like, what would it be for the employees? If the employees did the same thing, on the employee side, it would be over $1 million that would be shifted to the federal tax line. Now, we're getting a bigger migration to the high deductible plan with the employees because we're hiring a lot of new employees. And the new employees that it's making sense to. Oh yeah, this is great. It's better than the plans we had where we were before. And it's easy for us. And now, as I go around, and I've done the education pieces, and I've talked to the older members in my bargaining unit and some of the other bargaining units I do presentations for on the healthcare as well. And everybody says the same thing. Well, why would I go to the high deductible plan when as soon as I become a retiree, I lose that incentive of the HSA contribution? It is a bait and switch. You guys are getting me to get there. Then when I walk out the door, I lose that. So that's been one of the biggest obstacles I've had in convincing people to switch over. They're like, the disparity between the premiums of the two plans doesn't reflect the difference in the coverage levels. And they're not wrong. That's also correct. So by adopting the director's suggestion, this will give our retirees a very, very big incentive to switch over to the high deductible plan. And it will give them the opportunity to save a lot of money. And another issue that's not, how would I say, this isn't necessarily a tangible, but it is something that I feel would be a huge benefit to our retirees, especially some of the older ones. The point of service plan is very confusing. And the way that your deductibles and copays and coinsurances are applied to hit your maximum out-of-pockets, and the way that it's based on the date that the service was billed. So you may have hit your deductible in June 1st, but then a bill that was from May 1st comes in August, and then they backdate it to May, and they go ahead and pull the deductible because it wasn't there. And if you catch that, you can get it fixed. And the TPA does a pretty good job of trying to catch that. But then you get a lot of our providers in town, which I'm not going to name where they're at, have a really bad habit of balance billing the discount from the insurance company. And a lot of our retirees are very good people. They were our employees. They get a bill, they think they owe it, and they pay it. And if they don't catch that themselves, that money usually never comes back. So they're not sure if they paid everything they're supposed to, so they just keep paying bills. If they come in, they pay them. If they come in, they pay them. And I'll sit down with some of these people. I'm like, well, how much did you pay? They're like, oh, I've paid almost $4,000 or $5,000 this year just on me. And I'm like, whoa, stop. You can't. That's more than you owe. But it's just so confusing. I don't know what I owe. I don't know how. On the high deductible plan, you know. You go to the doctor, you don't pay a dime. You get all your services, goes to the insurance company, goes to our network, gets all the discounts applied. What you owe is sent to you on your explanation of benefits, and you pay that bill. Once that line hits $2,600 or $3,200 with the new IRS regs, you're done. Everything from that point forward for the entire rest of the year, if you get a bill, you know this is wrong. I've already paid everything I owe. It's very simple. It's very clear. And all of the people that I know that have switched to it just absolutely love the plan. So I think this incentive will do a good job of getting people to switch over to the high deductible plan. And I think it's the right step to go to incentivize our employees to move over. And one other thing that you should know, if you're talking to people about this plan, after the ACA was passed, nicknamed Obamacare, all wellness and a lot of chronic conditions are mandated by federal law to be covered at 100%. Anything that's mandated under federal law at 100% is 100% no matter what plan you're in. So you go get a wellness exam, even in the high deductible plan, you don't pay for that. You go for chronic condition management and the 5 or 6 conditions that are covered, you don't pay anything for that. The plan still pays everything that's mandated under the federal law. We make sure we stay compliant on all that. At the bottom of the sheet with the tax savings, everyone's like, well, the tax savings explain a little bit, but when you look at the actuarial report, that doesn't account for all of the savings and the difference in cost of these two plans. There's got to be something more. Well, there is. Consumerism. When you're paying that first big chunk of money out of pocket, you take a little bit more time checking out your options. You don't say, yeah, hey, give me that brand prescription drug that's $9,000 when there's a generic available that's $38. You shop around a little bit. Hey, I need an MRI. I'm not just going to walk down the hall and it's $14,000 here when I can go to Springfield Imaging and it's $800. People on the high deductible plan shop around. This plan drives consumerism. And the PPO plan tends to make people like, I'm going to pay $20 and I might get a bill sometime and I don't care, I just want to get it done. So they get Cadillac service, whether they need it or not, everywhere they go. And then the other thing that we've seen a huge return on is the people on the high deductible plan are our highest utilizers of our Leadwell clinic. Leadwell saves us around $500,000 a year right now, but it has the potential to do 4 or 5 times the volume of business that it does. The more people we move to the high deductible plan, the more people are going to say, hey, I got to pay out of pocket. I'm going to go to the free place here. And we now have wraparound care at the urgent care facility on MacArthur. So our Leadwell clinic on South 6th at the Hope Pavilion is open Monday through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the urgent care on MacArthur provides the exact same services free of charge to any member of the health plan. So there's never a reason not to use them. And if you had attended our last quarterly report meeting, you would have seen how much the people on the POS plan spent at, we call them the dock in the boxes out in town. It's a very large 6-figure number. And all of those services could have been provided at Leadwell. So the committee is pretty much, we do everything we can to save money, to get the best discounts, the best network, the best pricing we can. We're down to making our people better consumers and better users of the plan. And we do need to provide the education, and we're working on that. But we incentivized the employee plan, and it showed that it worked. Our numbers are growing steadily every year. We're getting a bigger and bigger and bigger shift on the employee side. I think if we do choose, the administration and you guys look this over, wrap your heads around it, make sure you understand it. If this is the option you choose, I think it will result in a huge shift on the retiree side. And I think it will also result in a much larger shift on the employee side where employees feel like, okay, this is the right plan for me. I'm going to stay on it because it makes sense now all the way to the end of the race.
Thank you, Mike. We have a list of aldermen and alderwomen signed up to speak, so I'm going to ask that you stay maybe to answer questions.
Yes.
And then if we need Director Baker, she'll come over. Alderman Hanauer.
Thank you. I appreciate you. You guys always do a good job. It's just sometimes we don't like to see the increases that especially the retirees get, but, everything's going up. I guess the question I have is, do we have a mechanism to offer a HSA to retirees? Like a supplemental insurance company, like an Aflac or I don't know, there's a whole bunch of them out there that would offer a HSA plan. That would be a way to get the retirees. It wouldn't cost the city anything.
Do you want to take that? or
It'd
do
be
you want one
something
of
that
those?
So the HSA itself is just a health savings account.
Right.
And a health savings account is strictly regulated by the IRS. And it basically says that in order to qualify to establish a bank account in your name as an HSA, you have to be enrolled in a single health plan or a single health plan plus Medicaid, Medicare. And your out-of-pocket spend for an individual has to be $3,200 for 2024 for an individual and $6,400 for a family or a plus one, which they consider a family. That is it. That's all the IRS says about establishing an HSA.
Well, that gets to my next point, though. If you don't spend that much, what happens to that money, or you get penalized?
No, you do not get penalized on that money. This bank account is no different than any other savings or checkings account that you establish at your bank in your name, other than if you spend money out of this account and you get audited by the IRS, you must be able to produce receipts or explanation of benefits that equal the amount of money that you took out of that account. At the end of the year, if you have $5,000 left in that account, it's still left in the account.
Okay.
You can contribute to the HSA until age 65. From age 55 to 65, the IRS allows a $1,000 additional makeup tax-free contribution to your account. And at age 65, you can no longer contribute, but say you have $20,000 built up in there through the years from participating, you can now pay your Medicare supplement premiums, you can pay your Medicare and Medicaid deductibles, you can pay for assisted living facilities, you can pay for anything that you could pay for out of a qualified retirement account, basically, for healthcare, you could pay for with that. The reason the city cannot make a contribution is the IRS specifically says that the only way an employer can contribute to an HSA is if it's contributing to an employee through payroll deductions. Since our retirees, none of them receive their checks directly from the city. IMRF gets them from IRF, and police and fire get from their associated funds. So it's not an employer contribution, so we can't make those contributions for them. But we can reduce their premiums and let them take that money that would have been withheld from their retirement checks and sent to us to pay medical bills. And they can move that money into their HSA themselves. And then they can write off dollar for dollar every dime they put in that account. Straight, it's like number 2 on your tax return. HSA contributions, $5,000, you subtract it, then you go on into your itemization.
The only other thing I would say on this, and Ramona, thank you for sitting down with this.
She's on vacation.
She's on
We have
vacation,
a
but
purchasing agent. Let's go.
I'm filling in for Ramona today.
But I do think that it's unfortunate that the +1, I mean, 6,400 is pretty good for a family, but that's an awful lot for two people.
I don't
And,
disagree with you, but it's
And
the
so, but
IRS.
that's the only thing that's a tough sell for
But we
that.
can't change the IRS
Yeah.
rules.
Well, but that is why for the +1, we took the contribution, so it's $2,250 that we put into the HSA for an employee on the family. So for the +1, we took their existing premium. She took the $2,250, divided that by 12, and then she subtracted it from the premium. So they're getting the same reduction in the premium that the family people are on a smaller premium. So the +1 people are they're actually getting a little bit more benefit than those people who are family retirees out of this proposal. They're getting the biggest reduction in premiums for any of the three groups.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Redpath.
Mike, I want to thank you for what you're doing. I know you get a big salary for this.
Not so far.
No, I know that. I know what time you put in this on your own, so we really appreciate that. You know, obviously, I was one of the opponents of this whole thing because of the retirees. We're all going to be retirees one of these days. I don't know if I'm ever retiring, but you guys
are a
all.
retiree.
So, long story short is that we just got to do our best for them. And I think education's the key to this. I think that what you're doing by going around and talking to the groups helps a whole bunch. I wish to continue that and we got to find a way to make it even a better way for them to be informed of the benefits of this, because let's get down to it. People are afraid of this. They're afraid if I get off, I'm going to be stuck. And why can't they go back once they start?
So you can change, this is once again, federal regulations for insurance plans. Unless you have a qualifying event, life event, insurance plans are required to send out the packet, which we're getting close on time for making because of this issue. But we have to put that benefits packet in the hands of all of our employees and our retirees a set amount of time before we open enrollment. Once we open enrollment, then that enrollment period has a finite time, and you must enroll in all of those benefits during that time. And then once you close that enrollment, the only way the city is allowed to change those benefits is if somebody has an IRS sanctioned qualifying life event. If you're a +1 and your spouse passes away, if you're a single and you get married, if you're a couple and you have children or you adopt a child, you know, those are the only events that the government allows us to open our plan and change it. But absolutely, that's the last two holdouts in my shop. I've convinced them they're going to enroll in January. They're going to switch. I said, if you get a year into it and you don't like it, by all means, next January, switch back to the point of service. It'll be available to you. But at least try it, and then I'm going to tell you I told you so, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so much less confused all the time with my bills.
That's the point. The education part's the biggest part.
It really is, because both of these people have quite a bit of medical issues, so they get a lot of bills, and they're constantly bringing me EOBs. But I have a shop of 14 guys, a building of about 22, so out of our 900 and some retirees, only about 14 of them are going to have access to me directly. So. But even with me sitting there explaining this to people, insurance is confusing. The way the plans work is confusing. Even myself, you know, and I've been doing this forever, I have to sit down, wrap my head around it, go through everything, and I can always find the answers and find mistakes and get them corrected, because the city does a great job of taking care of our people. Once problems are brought, they're second to none on getting stuff corrected. But it's just going to take, like you said, education. And the high deductible plan takes all of the confusion away. And I think that any of our retirees we can get to switch are going to just be so happy when they get a couple of EOBs and they're done. And then they just, for the rest of the year, they don't pay a bill. You know, and they can continue on and do that. And you don't have to put your retiree contribution in monthly like employees do. You can walk into the bank on January 2nd and say, here you go, I want to put all this, however much you want to put in, you can put that all in, and then it sets in the account and it earns interest, and, as your bills come in, you pay it.
Thanks again, Mike.
Alderwoman Conley.
Thank you, Mike. I love when you come in and talk about insurance because I always learn something from you. I'm one of those people who, like, if I can avoid a doctor's bill by not going to the doctor's office, that's kind of my method of planning. I say this having been in today, and I get my flu shot, right? So then I'm covered. What you're bringing though is a lot of information, and it really is helpful. It makes it much clearer. But you brought up something. And for you, I think it seems logical that informed consumer approach with a high deductible plan. So how easy is it to get information? Because I've never done this. I've never shopped for the cost of an MRI or an X-ray. I mean, I kind of don't do that. And I think I'm probably not out of the norm in that. So how does someone do that? Do we have a plan for getting that information and those into the hands of our consumers?
Yes, so there are multiple ways to do it. A lot of the doctor's offices now post pricing right up on the billboard when you come in for the most common procedures.
Okay.
And then
Is that a
HealthLink,
requirement? Because I can't remember. It's been
I
a while since
believe
I've been
that
out of
the ACA did put some language in there. I don't think everybody is compliant with it yet, but I think it's moving that way.
But a medical facility is required to give you, like if I call someone and say, hey,
Yes.
how much is an MRI?
If you tell them, so if your doctor has requested a procedure, because MRI is a generic term for a type of test, but there's 500 MRIs and they range from $200 to $20,000 depending on size and area of the body and intensity and scope. But if you give them the doctor's order, then they are required to give you the total out the door charge for that procedure. Now, the thing that it doesn't include is the discount. But our discounts are very similar at all of our providers, with the exception of the clinic. Theirs are just a little bit lower than everybody else, but we range from 30% on the low end to 60% on the high end for a discount off of the charge you're going to incur. And HealthLink, who is our provider network, you can reach out to HealthLink and say, hey, I have to have this procedure. Who's the lowest cost option in my area, in my network? And they can provide you with that information. And they're currently working on an app. As soon as it goes live, it'll be provided for all of our members. And then you can log in and say, hey, I need a colonoscopy. Where do I want to go? It's one service that Springfield Clinic actually is the cheapest in town and has the best outcomes on. So
I'm really
they're great
relieved I
for
don't
that.
know that yet.
So yeah, it's one of those things.
So there is a plan moving forward.
Yes, there is a
Because
plan.
obviously, you talking to people, and we love it when you come in and talk to us. And again, learn so much. But you are one person, and we don't want you to spend your retirement doing this too. So do you know the timeline for that app?
I would expect that we'll have something in the next year that will be live. We've looked at purchasing some, and the problem with the commercial ones that are available right now is they all do a region. Well, they basically do a dashboard and it's red, yellow, green. And green is your best cost with the positive good outcome rating.
Right.
All of those are in St. Louis. St. Louis is a much larger metropolitan market than us. They have a lot more medical providers.
Sure.
So they're more competitive and their prices are cheaper. So everything in Springfield's always shows up red on there, and that doesn't do us a lot of good. So HealthLink is working on getting an app that is more tailored to specific zip codes, and they're supposed to have it in the very near future.
That's good to know, because I know, part of it with the education and outreach, it just helps for people to know, how do I ask these questions? Who do I call? Because that can be daunting at times, I think. So I appreciate you bringing that up as an issue that can be addressed, though. That's, again,
Well,
that's
and
something I would've
really,
thought of.
one of the biggest savings opportunities in this type of plan, one of the easiest, so I mentioned it before, 90% of the people generate a much smaller percentage of your cost. And then 10% of the people have the high costs. Those high cost claims, we have those handled. We have a great negotiating team. We have great discounts. We have centers of excellence. We have people that engage those people and make sure they're getting great care at the best price that we can get it for.
Because they have more need for it.
But the $1 million+ we spend at prompt care and urgent care and the emergency room for a sniffle and a cold, we lowered the age. We got a provider certified at our Leadwell Clinic, and the urgent care already was certified. So now you can take children as young as 2 years old into Leadwell instead of running to the emergency room because your 3-year-old's got an earache. And I mean, you walk in the emergency room, the plan spends $5,000. They walk into Leadwell and they get an antibiotic and use a couple cotton swabs, and the plan just paid for about $9 worth of materials, and that's all we get hit with from the visit. Because the Leadwell itself is a flat rate for the year. The only thing we ever pay for is something that's used. If you get a sling, we pay cost at the hospital's discounted rate for the sling. No upcharge, no pass-throughs. So the Leadwell Clinic has a potential to save us millions of dollars if we can get our people to use it. And we have a facility that can be expanded several times in the location it's at.
And that's available to retirees?
It's retired to any member of our plan and their dependents. As long as you are on a City of Springfield approved health plan, you are Leadwell eligible.
Wonderful. Okay. So that's just, again, more outreach to people to make sure that they're using those services. Thank you so much.
Alderman Williams?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor, my question was answered.
Okay, no problem. Alderman Rockford?
Mike, is there a minimum that you have to put into, like an HSA?
There is no minimum. I mean, your bank will probably require you to put $50 or something in it to open it. Whatever your banking institution that you choose. I'll tell you, most credit unions won't do them, but almost every bank will do an HSA. In Springfield, almost every bank does HSA accounts.
Okay.
And whatever their banking minimum is the minimum you can put in to open it.
So probably I'm the only city retired employee sitting on this council. So I retired a year ago, August, and I'm on the POS, and so if I switch, being an active employee now, does the city contribute to the HSA for me? Or
are you on the retiree health plan, or are you on the employee health plan?
Well, I'm an employee, so I'm on a employee health plan.
If you're on the employee health plan, then it would be the employee contribution.
Okay.
Into the HSA account?
Yes.
Okay.
And for employees, first time, year one, we deposit the full $2,250, the second pay period of the month in March for the first year. And then every year thereafter that you're an employee, the $2,250 is divided into 12 equal payments made into your bank on the month.
Right. Okay. And my final question is so as a retired employee, I was paying almost $1,100 a month for my insurance. When I become an alderman and got back as an active employee, it dropped to less than half of it. Is there a reason why? Can you tell me why it doubles for a retiree?
Okay, so the retirees, a billion years ago, when the actual cost of the health plan was $58 a month, retirees just paid $58 a month. And then as the plan started getting crazy out of control and the first healthcare ordinance was passed and the committee was formed and it had retirees and aldermen and administrative positions and the bargaining units, the employees agreed to subsidize the retirees' premiums. So when if we continued where the retirees just paid full boat of it and the employees didn't subsidize it, the point of service plan, I believe, in 2024 is $2,842 a month. So the retiree premium for the POS without the employee subsidy, and now the city also subsidizes it to some extent, would be $2,842 a month.
Okay.
So the $1,100 a month is a savings of $1,700 over what the law actually says we have to do under IMRF and other statute guidelines. But it's because all the employees knew one day we would want to be retirees, so we pay a higher premium, so retirees pay a lower premium.
Any other questions, Alderman
That's
Rockford?
it. Thank you.
Okay. Alderman Donlin.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Allwood, we've known each other a long time and been through a lot of battles together, and even on the same side at times. But I just want to personally thank you for all your hard work over the years. This is not an easy topic to get a handle on, and you have a propensity to simplify it and make it easy to understand. The issue we have is you're around for what, 290 more days?
Yeah, but who's counting?
Yeah, but who's counting? There's two components here that I'm hearing that we as a city need to better educate our participants. And that is the education on the high deductible plan, the advantages for the individuals and families and retirees and existing employees, and the advantages of the system that we have in place. And you mentioned the Leadwell and the facility on MacArthur and the shopping around. And you made me think of, I had a back issue a few weeks ago and had to go to a specialist and just to get checked out. And they said if it gets worse, we're going to have to send you to get an MRI, I believe is what they said. And because the x-ray only showed so much. And I guarantee if they would have told me to, and I'm not on the city plan, I might add, but if they would have told me that to go to a certain facility, I know that's what I would have done. One, because it's quick, and two, I didn't know any better. So what I think would be helpful, and at least, because if I had to go home right now and explain to and I know she wouldn't want to hear this, and who would, to my lovely wife, what you said this evening, I'd probably mess it up. No, I don't think she is watching, but anyway, it's a different story. But anyway, I'd like to see, and we do this at times with what I do on a regular basis, on my day job, is we take a complicated concept and put together a simple it doesn't have to be one page, but a Q&A. And the items that you outlined today, those different scenarios, I think if we haven't done this, we need to, or if we have, we probably need to do a simpler job just to explain it, because you're only here for 290 more days. And from what I've heard this evening, what you said absolutely makes sense. Again, but I'm not an HR specialist, but I would have difficulty explaining it to others. So if you're willing, and I know you've given us years and years of your time, if you're willing to work with our departments, I know we got some smart heads there as well, to put some things together on these two fronts, I think we'll be in better shape in the end. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it took guts wearing that Bears hat today, I might add.
I'm not a fair weather fan. I was at the game Sunday. It was more painful in person.
Are there any other aldermen or alderwomen that have any questions for Mr. Allwood? Thank you for your time, Mike. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. The chair will now entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the October 3rd, 2023 regular city council meeting and approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Chair will now entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council first reading of ordinances into the record of this council meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the pre-council reading? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council reading of the consent agenda into the record of this council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the consent agenda? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. The chair will now entertain a motion to place the consent agenda on final passage.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the final passage of the consent agenda? All the voting will now be open. All those in favor, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. and the consent agenda passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. Agenda item numbers 2023-173, 2023-201, 2023-202, 2023-203, 2023-420, 2023-421, 2023-430, 2023-431, 2023-432, 2023-443, and 2023-451 remain tabled or in committee. The next item on the agenda is item number 2023-459, an ordinance authorizing and approving a one-year contract extension and authorizing additional funding in an amount not to exceed $3,500,000 under contract number UE 22-09-55, line clearance services with Asplin Tree Expert LLC for a total amount payable of $10,500,000 for the Office of Public Utilities. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda number 2023-459 on final passage.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this agenda item? Alderman Redpath.
No, I was going to comment on the table to remain in committee, but I'll come back to it, so
Okay, sorry, I just whipped right past that.
that's all right.
Alderwoman Conley.
I just assumed Alderman Redpath was getting ready for tree trimming. Yeah, and do we have, would this be CWLP that's doing this, Doug or someone? I have a question for you. Because I know how much you guys enjoy talking about tree trimming. As I know you're aware, tree trimming is something that we get a lot of complaints about with the manner that it's done in, that people don't have enough notification prior to when their trees are being trimmed, and understanding the process. So I'm going to kind of carry over Alderman Donilon's suggestion that we have some sort of an FAQ that goes along with, and I don't know if it needs to be done in conjunction with Asplin, I can't say their name right, but, more information to people about, what the schedule is for tree trimming. If we could have a schedule that's posted and made available, so.
It's on our
there?
website.
So we need to have that be made more available, because I don't find it easily, and I have frustrations with websites sometimes, but just get this information out, because I hear all the time from people, not all the time, but it's a fairly regular basis. Someone came into my yard yesterday, they cut down half of my tree and left a pile sitting here. What's going on? And I'm like, okay, that sounds like our tree trimming for the power lines. We're protecting the lines. This is important. Why is this stuff still in my yard? Yes, they're going to come back for it. But, it's that constant concern about how people understand what's going on with the tree trimming, and that they're made aware of not just why we're doing it. I mean, that's fairly clear, but not everyone considers. Someone came in and just trimmed my tree, and they make the connection with the power lines. There needs to be more outreach around that concept and around the timing of it and how it's going to happen. And then also I had one person ask, and so I'm going to ask this. Do we pay on an hourly basis or a job basis for tree trimming?
It is hourly.
It's hourly.
In Inkle no other, if they're not working, they don't get paid. So if it's raining out and they can't clear lines, we don't pay them.
But it's not.
We price stuff for like firm pricing, and it's often where you overpay. From our experience when we've done that in the past.
Okay.
So we went through that to kind of prove, make sure that we are doing the right thing by doing time and material, and time and material is cheaper.
And if you think about it with firm pricing, they're going to estimate higher because they don't know what days are going to work and what days are not because of inclement weather, because of snow, because of whatever the conditions may be. So they are always going to be higher.
Okay.
So we do it on a time and material basis, so we compare labor, trucks. We trim about 5 miles of line a year. We have a pretty good idea how many days they're going to work. And if you take an estimate and compare them all, that's how we come up with low bid.
And how long have we been doing time and materials?
Ooh, that's a good question. This is probably the third or fourth contract that's been T&M.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. And again, I know I try not to send too many of those complaints your way just because it's something I can address and handle. But it is something that causes people concern. I've had people tell me they think that someone's broken into their yard because there's tree branches out there, you know, and it's disconcerting. So just maybe some higher, and I know you've got this, Amber does a great job with outreach. If that's something we could just throw onto her cycle.
Well, we can also, I mean, we've done it in the past where we've included it in the neighborhood news type
Yeah.
stuff.
That would be great.
So we can bring that back to that too, try to.
Thank you. I
Get that with
appreciate it very
Haley.
much.
And first thing in the morning, I will send all the aldermen a link to our page that has the tree clearance schedule.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And then I'll help, and I will share that with my award, because it does make a difference. If people know what to expect, I'm hoping maybe we get fewer complaints. Okay, thank you
We have
very
another
much.
question here. Alderman Rockford.
And you said it's scheduled online?
Yes.
On your website? And can I bring up something else? And it pertains to sidewalks and garbage and stuff, but is CWLP in charge of the IT department?
For the IT, yes.
Okay, because when you go to the online slip to put in a complaint, it says it's got unspecified problems, so you can't send anything in.
On the
Sidewalks, branches.
pothole,
Yeah.
branches, all that?
Basically, the report a problem
Yeah.
website.
Okay.
Well, it didn't do it today. I got many complaints about 3 or 4 different people, so I'm
Same.
just asking if you could.
We had the same
forward
problem
that.
last weekend too. It's going up and down, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Any other aldermen or alderwomen with any questions? Okay. So we had a motion and a second. We finished our discussion, so the voting will now be open. All those in favor vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion carries with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item number 2023-467, an ordinance appointing Jason Brokaw as Inspector General for the City of Springfield. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda number 2023-467 on final passage.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We're open for discussion, and I know Mr. Brokaw is here, so he will come up. And then we have another mayor in the office in the building tonight that wants to come up too, I think. Come on, Mayor Lopez.
Don't
Go ahead,
vote
Mr.
on
Brokaw.
anything
Food
till
here.
We'll annex Jerome.
Go ahead, Mr. Brokaw.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Brokaw. I'm sure you've all been given a resume, so I won't elaborate too far, but I'm excited at the opportunity to serve. I was formerly in the Office of Corporation Counsel before entering private practice, and since then, I have concentrated my efforts in the law in units of local government, municipalities, county work, so I feel I'm well-suited to serve and look forward to doing that upon appointment.
And then there's someone next to you that's wanting to speak on
I
your
have,
behalf.
I have with me in support one of my clients, Mayor Lopez from the village of Jerome. If he wants to say something, I'll let him, but he's just here.
I was here to support him, didn't know I was going to call up, but I've known Jason since 2014, the year after I took office in 2013. Been very valuable to our office, to our building, to our village, and also has a lot of contacts within this building. And he's a great access to us and will be a great asset to the city, and I support his appointment, and he does keep me out of trouble in the village. So thank you, Mayor and the council, and thank you for all your work.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor Lopez. Alderwoman Purchase.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to echo what Mayor Mike said. Jason will definitely be an asset, and he has represented me, so I will be present on my vote tonight. But I encourage everybody else to go yes.
Any other aldermen or alderwomen have any comments or questions for Mr. Brokaw? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion is over. Voting will, thank you, Mr. Brokaw. Voting will now be open. All those in favor, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 9 voting yes, 1 voting present. Thank you, Jason. Congratulations. The next item on the agenda is item number 2023-477, an ordinance authorizing a 3-year renewal of a professional services agreement with Sound Thinking Incorporated, formerly known as ShotSpotter Incorporated, for an annual resource router, formerly Connect, subscription services in the amount of $146,250 over a 3-year period for the Springfield Police Department. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda number 2023-477 on final passage.
move.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion on this? Alderman Gregory.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, I asked for this to be on debate because I wasn't totally sure what it all entailed, and Chief did a fabulous job, not only in conversation, but via email as well to all of us that we all received about it. And I do plan on voting for this, and all I would ask as Chief is if we could be sent some data on, I know you can't give your whole game plan, but if you can send us some data on how the previous time worked, and were we able to get in areas where we have a lot of shootings and crime, and you know, I would like to judge how it's really working, especially for a community like mine. I spoke to you about the Justice Department investigation into sound thinking and over-policing the minority community. So, you know, while I do support this now, I know we'll revisit, you know, ShotSpotter in totality, and I had a good conversation with the gentleman from Sound Thinking about community investment and on their portion, you know, as they take over this company. I think that's important for municipalities. Anytime we engage in a product like this, that does, you know, continue on some of the stigmas of over-policing in our community. Now, I've definitely seen the benefits of ShotSpotter and some of those things, no doubt about it. However, you know, we still have to be attentive to the community and their feelings and some of the things that do happen. So I do support this now, and, you know, I look forward to, you know, looking at some more information. Thank you.
Well, thanks for your support on the project, and it is important to recognize, I know Mr. Allwood talked about educating our community, and I think that's extremely important on this product. And the information that I shared, I'm sure you all had the opportunity to take a look at that. I mean, it discusses specifically how this is designed to prevent over-policing in neighborhoods, and that's one of the reasons we went with this, is that it relies on data analytics and predictive policing methods. So a lot smarter people than I did wrote this, but I think it is a great project, and I would certainly echo what you said and agree with you. If this is not working how it's designed to, then we shouldn't be paying for it, and I think that's important. You know, as the leader of the organization, it's my responsibility to ensure that what we pay for is working properly. So I'll certainly work to get some sort of statistics as far as you know, the success of the program.
Appreciate you, sir.
Yep.
Alderwoman Conley.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. I just, thank you, first of all, very much for the email. That was a lot of information. I was wondering if you'd mind, since that was an email that just went to council members, if you would mind just kind of summarizing that at the meeting tonight so that we can share with the community some of the reassurances and background information you gave.
I could read it, but I won't do that.
If you want to read it, that's fine.
So ShotSpotter Connect, as it used to be called, now it's Sound Thinking Resource Router. Similar concept. Essentially what it is, it takes historical crime data, it takes predictive policing. There's an algorithm that it factors in. There's a bunch of other factors, and I could go through some of those in here. And essentially what it does, it says, based on all these statistics, if it draws a 250 meter by 250 meter box, essentially there's several of them throughout the entire city, and it says if an officer spends 10 to 15 minutes in that box, it kind of creates this omnipresence to where it's the design is that would reduce crime within that area. And that's based on a well-known study called the Koper curve theory, as it says here. So that's the whole concept, and that we're not only in that box sitting in our patrol cars, that's an opportunity to get out to positively engage with our community, because that in and of itself creates trust and helps reduce crime as well.
Thank you. And we kind of talked a little bit, again, email. That's not the only place where you're going to be patrolling. I mean, I brought up some, you know, some crime issues that have been occurring in my ward, and that you're increasing patrols in that area. So this is just one of the tools in your
absolutely
varied toolbox.
Yes, ma'am. There's a multi-layered approach when it comes to policing our community, and that takes into account, the use of police officers, but also technology that's out there, and it's certainly an overlapping component that helps us not only solve crime, but do our best to prevent crime, and that's ultimately what it's all about.
Thank you. And I will tell you, so I have read some of the articles that are, some of the investigations into ShotSpotter, some of the concerns around it. And I think for me, where I have more of a peace of mind is in knowing, and I've seen your track record as a leader of this department, and the environment that you're really building within the police department where, people can ask questions and people can push back, and if things are looking inappropriate, that you are the kind of person who will, take action on that. So it gives me some confidence in a program that there have been questions asked about this technology, and so I absolutely, I do plan to support it. I appreciate that you're using technology as one tool, as an important tool, but also very much, relying on the expertise of your officers, and that makes a difference to me. So thank you very much for that, Chief.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Notriano?
Thank you, Mayor. Chief, I really appreciated your email that you sent out explaining this to us. I would say, as a newer member of the council, and this isn't just directed at you, but all of the department heads, I would have loved to see that email with the actual proposal or some description, because I was under the impression that this was our ShotSpotter subscription as opposed to, an add-on. So just clarifying things like that would be super helpful up front.
Any other aldermen or alderwomen that have a comment about this ordinance or discussion? Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Discussion is now over. Voting will now be open. All those in favor of the ordinance, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 10. You're voting yes, none voting no. Alderman Redpath, my apologies. Did you have a question on ordinances remain
I think it's
table or
probably
in committee?
appropriate, Mayor, that we withdraw the Mealich nomination.
It's ready to expire, so we're just going to pull it off that
All
way.
right, that's all I was going to bring.
Anything else? Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
did we want to pull the insurance, the two insurance?
Depends upon if you're ready to vote tonight or if you want to have a special meeting next week before the committee of the whole. We do have that timeline Mr. Allwood referred to, that we have to have the package to our employees by. So it's up, the council can have a special meeting prior to the committee of the whole meeting next week at 5:30, or you can do it this evening, whatever the council would prefer.
Well, I guess if we vote to bring it out, I guess hopefully we would have the votes to pass it then, right?
I'd like to hear from some people now that they've heard this presentation tonight.
All right, that's fine.
Special meeting it is.
Special meeting it is.
Sorry.
Okay, so you all have fair warning. We'll have a special council meeting quickly at 5:30 with just the healthcare premium ordinances on it prior to the committee of the whole next week.
Okay.
Thank you. I just wanted to give you time to
That's perfect.
think and talk, so.
And thank you, because I know I was contacted by retirees with concerns about the proposal, and I think, again, if we give people a little time to hear what was said tonight and kind of wrap their minds around it, it doesn't look like we rushed it through until next week.
Well, and I agree in the discussion piece. I don't think the retirees realize how much of the premium is being paid for by employees in the city, so.
Yeah.
Agreed. Is there any unfinished business to come before the council?
Yeah. Mayor,
Alderman Rockford.
we have a meeting, excuse me, next week.
Nope.
We're
Yes,
moving it from the
sorry, you're right.
31st.
You are correct, sorry.
But I think we need
Sorry,
to vote
Alderman.
on that, right? To move the meeting?
Yes, you never
I thought we did.
You discussed
We already
it.
did that.
Did that.
No, we never voted.
Let's
We
vote on it
agreed
again, just to be
change it.
safe.
All right, Alderman Donlin wants to vote on it again, just to be safe. So we're going to, is a roll call vote okay, or do they need to use their voting? Okay, we'll just, all those in favor of not having a meeting?
Let's do a motion in a second.
All right, so can I get a motion for not having a meeting on 10/31, but having it on 10/24, right? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on moving the meeting? I expect you will all be handing out candy. That's my discussion that evening then. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
It's the only-
Any opposed? Okay, so meeting next week for the committee of the whole.
Now you can dress up, Larry.
Any other unfinished business to come before the council this evening? Any new business to come before the council this evening? Alderwoman Purchase, no new business from you. Alderman Hanauer.
Thank you. We're going to have them here next week, but I want to congratulate the SHE boys golf team. They were state champions, first time since 1978 or 79. The SHE girls, they got second place, and they had the individual winner in, her name's Izzy Hasselbrock. So we'll have them here next week, and the word is SHE is now a golf school.
That's because you're not swimming there anymore.
Coach Max.
Alderwoman Notriano.
Thank you, Mayor. Now that we're meeting next week, this becomes a little less urgent, but I was going to bring up an issue that we have encountered in Ward 6 with trick-or-treating. So as many of you know, in Ward 6 on Glenwood near Blessed Sacrament, we close the street every year and have trick-or-treaters come from all across the city to trick-or-treat safely in a closed-off 2-block radius. And we had a little bit of difficulty this year, so I wanted to sort of put the bug in everyone's ear of an idea of formalizing the process if blocks want to close off, such as Glenwood, that they could come to us and request a special trick-or-treat permit as opposed to a block party permit. That way we could preserve the tradition. So, yeah, thank you.
I think we have a process.
I think we got a process.
Do you want the director to speak?
Absolutely, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Good evening. We actually don't have a specific policy on trick-or-treating parties. What we do is we use our block party policy, which requires a specific number of folks within the area to be closed, to sign off and agree to it. We also require an insurance policy, which the city joins with the neighborhood group. So that is what we generally follow. As far as a specific policy on closing off a street exclusively for tricking and treating, it does not really exist. We use the block party policy is what we do. So I would be glad to entertain any discussion on trick and treating.
Tricking and treating.
It's an or.
I'm more of a trickster than a treater. So.
Oh, you're a treat to us, David.
Alderman Redpath, do you have a comment about this?
Yeah, so Dave, what if some people on the block don't want to do it?
I believe it's 80% of the folks have to agree with it, and they have to sign. It's
Thank you.
It's a petition that we pass.
And Dave, this has been going on in this area for some time though, right?
In Glenwood, yes.
That is my understanding, yes.
I think the issue is for block parties, we allow one per neighborhood, so 1 block per neighborhood, and this would be 2 blocks. And so that's.
17, 18, 1900 block, right?
Oh, well, yeah. I think it's a little bit further down now.
Wow.
Yeah. So south of Laurel.
See what I've been missing?
I know. But yeah, I think there was a little bit of confusion about what exactly would be closed. Like, we're not trying to close down Ash or any arterial roadways, right? But just, have some continuity and make sure children are safe and that sort of thing.
I encourage the discussion. I know Halloween is a big holiday for children and for adults, and anything that I could do or Public Works could do to make sure that everyone is able to celebrate safely, I am glad to entertain that discussion.
Yes, thank you very much for your help.
Director Fuchs for coming up.
Yeah.
Any other aldermen or alderwomen have new business? You're not going to promote the DSI Awards banquet tomorrow?
Oh, yes.
I called on you and you didn't even pick up on it. Alderwoman Purchase.
Yes, tomorrow night, beginning at 6:30, is our DSI Downtown Springfield Inc. Annual Awards Dinner. And we normally have about 300 attendees, and Madam Mayor will be speaking to talk about some updates and what's going on with the city of Springfield. So I look forward to seeing my colleagues there. Y'all coming, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We have 3 who have signed up to speak in advance to the council. The first person on the agenda is Merrill McDaniels.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Muriel McDaniels, and I represent L&M Gymnastics and Kids. Pardon me. More importantly, I represent the children that have served our program, past and present. And last year, this governing body voted for us to receive funds from the cannabis and the TIF grant. That did not come to pass. There was not much communication with the Department of Economic Development after the article was put in the newspaper. So there was just a lot of things that, communication-wise, that did not happen to enable us to, go the next step. And it's real important because we represent children, and we've been doing L&M Gymnastics since 1975. We are not only the gym, we are hometown. My husband and I both born and raised here in Springfield. And just want to give you a little brief background of our history as we relate to our community. Number one, my first job was here at the city for the Human Relations Commission, and my senior year in high school, as a matter of fact. And the newsletter highlighted city employee gets a report card. My husband worked for the city, for the recreation department, for 10 years and developed the city's first and only tumbling team. It's very, very frustrating to know that you need to have an upgrade, and that's why we did the application of the facility, as well as equipment to have things move forward. A little bit more about the history. Our first location here as a business was at 409 East Jackson, and that was right across the street from the governor's mansion. Shortly, a year or less, the state bought it, tore it down. We moved to 5th and Lawrence and was there a while, and then the church purchased it for a parking lot and tore it down. So we have constantly been challenged with facilities, and we just thought when we put that application in, at last, 48 years now, we'll get a chance at the table and be treated fairly. Equipment-wise and building-wise, as I said, needs to be upgraded. And the micromanaging of the program indicates that a business that is given the awards not only provides the funds in advance for purchases and for moving, et cetera. You have to do that. Well, I don't know about all small businesses, but I know our program, for example, we purchased some years ago a piece of equipment that's cost $10,000. We didn't have that set on the side. It took our parents a long time to do a lot of fundraisers to earn that. So the micromanaging of the component of the grants is not, it's not realistic for small businesses. I understand that they have to have accountability. And to me, as long as you have a reputable quote, that support should be there. Again, we were led to believe that there would not be that type of micromanaging. But that's where we are. We've taught our children for many a year that sometimes you fall short of your goal. But when you get knocked down, you get back up. So I am standing in front of you as our representative saying, we're standing back up and we're expecting a change of things to happen. So we're going to ask that you revisit that again, look at it seriously for the businesses. We were told this is primarily, this portion is for minority-owned small businesses on the east side of Springfield, and that's where we are and have been for quite a while. You know, it's about children, our most priceless, precious part of our society is children. We have brought a lot to the city of Springfield. We have escorted children through 12 foreign countries. The last time I was in the city council chambers, we had brought a team back from Seville, Spain. And a family from Springfield on vacation saw we were performing at the Expo 92 and was supposed to perform 2 times. They asked us to perform 2 more times. And a couple from Springfield on vacation came back and said how proud they were that somebody from their community and to see the children. We've brought people from Europe on more than one occasion that spent weeks in our city because of our program and our youth. So we've not taken from the community. We have represented it well. The U.S. Commander General at the Expo 92 designated us as goodwill ambassadors. And so, again, I'm going to end with words from a song that's one of my favorites, and it's from the artist other than Dusty Springfield, and it says, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. And we have, for 48 years, made our place, our community, a better place.
If you'll
So now it's your turn.
stay right there, Mrs. McDaniel.
Yes.
Alderman Gregory has signed up to speak.
All right.
Only if she's finished. I would never interrupt. But
Pardon me?
I will say, Ms. McDaniels, I totally support you in your effort. And, you know, I'll have a few questions for our director. This whole grant, and, you know, I'll talk with you after the meeting, but I will try to talk with our director and talk with our mayor. So there was this audit. And the only thing I'm really bothered about by the audit is not that the past administration had some hang-ups, didn't get money out. Those things don't really bother me. What bothers me is that this audit was sent to 12 people. Our economic development director, us 10 up here, I'm sure the mayor, I'm sure Mr. Murdoch, so maybe more. But it went from us to review, to discuss, to leaked out to some article that smeared people's businesses. They smeared people's names, lies, mistruths. And that's what bothered me the most about this audit. Not the audit and not the improvements that our mayor will make on this program. Is that we, on some political mess, 22, 21 businesses, black-owned businesses, were smeared, some justly, some unjustly. And that's the problem that I have with this audit. So, Ms. McDaniels, I'm sorry that that you didn't receive your grant, because I feel like everyone who was awarded the grant, the TIF, blame me. I take the blame for that. Because I was pushing the administration, former administration, to be creative, to layer different incentives to get people to closer to their goal. Everybody's going to apply for $100,000. Everybody. So we could have did 6, or we could have tried to stretch it and did 22. Not my decision, but it was my suggestion. So I take that. Didn't work out so well. But it could have on TIF eligible expenses. Ms. McDaniels had a plan to move into a building within the boundary. She's currently in Ward 6, right outside the boundary. She had planned to move inside the boundary, but that building got purchased by someone else, by another business. We're happy for it on the east side. It's actually in Alderman Williams' ward. So, I guess what I'm saying to this administration, to our director, to this council, is that this particular initiative program is important to our community. It really, really is. And if it can be ran better, I'm sure it will. Val, Miss Yazel, we've had conversations before and after when you came back with different people, Bourbon Street, all types of different businesses, trying to think about how we help them become successful. Because in the end, that's what we all should want, is for businesses to be successful. Even without this grant, this is a business that's coming before us trying to find a way to continue to operate in our community, trying to generate taxes and do things for young people and things of that nature. So I just wanted to say that I support you in any way I can. I'll have the conversation. We'll put our minds together. I have some thoughts on some vacant buildings that may work out for you in the zone. But I encourage this administration to look at the ones who tried to do right and no fault of their own didn't get what they were supposed to get. So that's my thing. Thank you for coming in today, and I look forward to hearing those who have something to say. Thank you.
Alderman Rockford?
Yeah, Muriel, appreciate you coming in. You know how we feel about you and Leroy. I hope Mayor Busher and Director Yazel come up with a way or find a way to find some funding or get you a new building. We know the condition of some of the buildings you've been in, in equipment. So I hope here in the near future, we can sit down and talk and get some things hashed out and find you a spot.
Okay.
You mean the world to us. Thank you
very much.
Alderwoman Conley?
Thank you, Mayor. Alderman Gregory, thank you for kind of spelling out a little bit more of what was going on here. I think one point that you highlighted is that we have exactly the kind of targeted business owner that we want to be supporting. You just physically weren't in the very small space of the existing zone. And I think we've had some time. It might be time to consider expanding those boundaries. We have, the state of Illinois has a disproportionately impacted areas map for the city of Springfield that is significantly more than wards 2 and 3. And it may be that we're clearly missing some minority business owners who, and I don't know exactly your location, I don't know how it would track with that map, but I think that's something that we probably need to put on our plate to consider is the city spreading this program out so that we track with where the state has also identified. There are disproportionately impacted areas throughout the city of Springfield. And we know that's there. The map exists. You can see it very easily. It may be time for us to consider looking at, maybe expanding how this program works and put that as one of the considerations on our plate, because I know I can tell your passion and your love for what you do and for the audience, the kids that you're reaching, and that's a really critical thing to have in our community, is a healthy, functional, supportive place for people to go. And I, would certainly like to say that we need to keep our options open and as we look at this program going forward. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for advocating for yourself. Thank you very much.
Alderman Williams.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. And thank you for coming in tonight. I got a little excited when I was told about the search and that you were coming to that building in Ward 3, and we were excited and we thought it was really, really going to happen. But, I understand business decisions have to happen, and the business that's there is a good business too, and we're happy to have them there on Taylor Avenue. But what I want you to understand is that we feel for you, because we know that this building would have been so much better. It was a really good location and a good fit for you. And as far as the audit is concerned, I was always taught that audits make us better. So when you do an audit, it's not about pointing fingers. It's about how to do it better the next time and how to get better and better. So I'm willing and ready to work with these recommendations that came from the audit to make this program better and stronger. As you know, it was the first time out. Some of these mistakes were just ridiculous, probably shouldn't have happened. And some of the vendors or the grantees didn't play fair, but the majority did. You're one of the ones that did. Bruce is one of the ones that did. We have some legitimacy where it did, but when you get an article that slants it politically and makes it like an attack, it picks up good people like you and other good people. So what I would say to that, we as a council and as a city, we just need to take the recommendations and move forward and take their advice on what they're recommending on how to make this better. If it is to expand the boundaries, as long as it's in the true intent of what the legislator built for why they even made marijuana illegal, first of all, and then how they passed it. That's where I'm at with this. Not about the boundaries. I wasn't here when they decided it. Or the police and the fire wouldn't have that piece. So that's under the bridge. That's something I accepted along with a lot of other things about this program. So I think the attitude to take at this point is to help you get relocated, get your grant back, as well as a few others that have some problems, and learn from this and get better at this, Mayor. That's all that I want to see happen, and I thank you again for coming.
Alderman Gregory, did you have something else to add?
Yes, I just want to add, final comment, because usually we get out of here and it's the map that we speaking on, Alderwoman Conley, that is a map that individuals can get a discount on their application for cannabis. It hasn't worked out so well for black people, but I will say that I'm not against the boundaries, but I have concerns on where those boundaries may go if we move them. Because in the legislation, it says the most affected area. I asked Chief for that information for a reason, because I can guarantee you that's going to be Ward 2. It's been written about, talked about, reported about 1,000 times. And what we were trying to do is sort of jumpstart our worst community so it grows. And we don't need a cannabis business grant. We don't need cannabis housing. We don't need ShotSpotter. That's the goal. That's what the vision was. So we drew the boundaries because Ward 2 and Ward 3 have places that have $100,000 houses. And we drew it around the places that have $10,000 houses, $15,000 houses, maybe $25,000 houses. Nobody pretty much owns. Everybody's renters. Businesses are barely hanging on. But now if you go down 11th Street, you'll count Drake Commercial Cleaning, Cannabis Business Grant. Luxora was there. I have my opinions on that, but that was a second business. Had she stayed there, that's a second business, but we all know businesses in their first 5 years go through some things. But down that strip, Ms. D's Kitchen, which an employee who still works here to this day, an employee who's gone, both went in there and took a picture. So when I look at the information, I'm like, well, how do we let her sign for something she's not eligible for? And then take a picture and we brag about it, but one's here and one's gone. I don't get those things. So I don't necessarily have a problem with changing the boundaries, but I think the boundaries should always go to the poorest areas of our community.
Absolutely.
There's a couple other spots that we could probably identify. They won't be near as poor as the area that we drew it around. Nowhere near. But I do understand what we are saying. I'm not against it, but I just think that we have to be carefully thought. And the community, the community in which we drew this box of, it hasn't even had one round yet. We're already trying to change it. Already trying to change the boundaries. It has not been one round completed yet. One round, and we already trying to. Here we go. Let's let that community grow from it first. Then come back and review it once that community's thriving. Once we see some more businesses down 11th Street, people on that side of town can do it and run good businesses. I would ask for us to visit CAP 1908. Anybody been there? I know Alderman Dowling seen him and went there.
I've been there.
I know you have. I'm asking a question. Boyd's New Generation Restaurant, good food. They have come along significantly. The TIF, the cannabis grant, has helped their business out. Carter's Fish, I wish they would have kept it so they could pay the lot so we can get cars out of our neighborhoods from parking, because it's a great business. Those are the type of things that it can do for our community, that it has done for our community. I encourage you to ride by the Ambidexter House, the house that was 165 years old, a house that the Illinois National Guard surrounded in the 1908 race riots, just so it stands here today. New foundation on it. They just finished it. So I'm just.
May I?
Yes, ma'am.
Add before
Absolutely,
you
anytime.
wrap up. Our uniqueness in a building design is not like opening an office. We have to have certain floor dimensions. We have to have certain ceiling heights.
Yes, ma'am.
And the reason we have done that is because we continue, with my husband's knowledge, training champions. And they keep excelling and going up to the rafters.
Absolutely.
Okay, they're skill-wise.
Yes, ma'am.
So we need an upgrade in a very timely manner. And
Okay.
I had to share that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm aware of where your building are. I do think we may have some buildings in our community that will work, and I look forward to having the discussion with our team. And I support you fully. It's good business. It's something good for our community, and I support it 120%. Thank you.
Alderwoman Notriano.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to say thank you so much for being in Ward 6 for the amount of time that you have. We're going to be sad to see you go, but I was just chiming in to say I wasn't here when the program was designed or what have you, so I'm going to do just a tiny bit of Monday morning quarterbacking. But I feel like what businesses like your business are asking for, maybe not a grant, that's sort of complicated and very specific, but it sounds like you just need a small loan, and whether or not we can create a community bank with this money or what have you, whether or not, it should be a grant, as in a loan you don't have to pay back. That's another thing to discuss. But I think the freedom that comes with being able to come to a place and ask for a $5,000 loan, a $20,000 loan, a $50,000 loan that you can't get at a normal bank would be something that would be really valuable to this area outlined currently in the cannabis zone. So that's all I want to say. Thanks.
Alderwoman Conley.
Thank you. And Alderman Gregory, I just want to respond real briefly. I love the progress that we're seeing in your ward. I'm over there a lot, you know, my husband's there every day. But
That's Ward 3, but.
I think he's called you about a couple of branch piles, maybe. No, I'm thrilled to see that, and certainly I'm just kind of this situation that was, you know, with Mrs. McDaniels. I just wanted to say we need to be looking at maybe some. I mean, obviously we're looking at this program top to bottom now. Make sure that applicants get good information with clear expectations. And, you know, and if we need to have some other flexibility in where those dollars can be spent, I think we need to make sure that we're reaching small business owners. And I will tell you, so my mom was an athletic trainer when I was very young, so I grew up watching the Penn State men's gymnastics team practice all the time. And when you say your kids go to the rafters,
You know what I'm saying?
literally there are rafters involved. And we want to make sure that they have the ability to excel. Because that is a talent and a skill that can take them a long way in life. So that was the only thing I was saying, Alderman. I'm like I said, I love Boyd's. I've been going there for a long time, so I'm glad to see them. That drive-through window has been huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but we just need to keep our minds open, and we need to make sure that this program, with a very specific intent, which was absolutely impact those areas that are low income, that have high vulnerabilities, with minority business owners, and give you a lift from this what was in 2020 new money. We absolutely need to make sure that's carried through with integrity, and that it continues to make that impact for owners for our business owners, because that's the backbone of our economy. Is seeing these small businesses grow and thrive, and we definitely want to be a part of that. So, Alderman, I hope you don't think I was trying to.
No.
Okay, good.
It's discussion. It's all good. It's all
I just
good.
wanted to make sure she understood. And thank you again. You came in, you listened to us for a while, but you raised some good points, and we want to make sure that all the business owners that apply for this grant have the right information and have the right tools and opportunities so that you can grow and thrive. Thank you very much.
Alderman Williams.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So I still have concerns on working on the recommendations to make it better, because I have read the legislation in corporate counsel. I would say to you that you have to steer us on this, because I keep hearing, well, we have bad areas too, or we have raggedy areas, poor areas, however. This legislation dealt with weed, marijuana. This dealt with who went to jail for the marijuana, the crime bill. That's what the Legislative Black Caucus was trying to fix and tie it into making marijuana legal in Illinois. Now, I don't know about the rest of the states. And all I'm asking you as corporate counsel is to guide us to make sure we get this right. Because when I work with Chief and the stats and who went to jail for it and who didn't go to jail and who's getting let out and all these different things that this marijuana legislation did, the expungements that it's not all over Springfield. And it's not just because you've got a raggedy house or a poor area or a dilapidated house or whatever. Is if the crime bill impacted your area. I know my areas of this part of this crime bill and where this legislation intentions come from. So I would just ask that you keep us on foot with this. Because if we're going to talk about boundaries, I'm going to be listening very carefully. Thank you.
Understood, thanks.
Any other aldermen or alderwomen to discuss anything? Mrs. McDaniels, please make sure that Director Yezel has your contact information so we can follow up with you. And I don't know if you remember this, but I have a 29-year-old who took tumbling at L&M, so.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And I get that a lot, people, because we do have a history. And it's not just the children now. We're into second and third generation.
Yes, ma'am. She doesn't have kids, but she could, so.
That's all right. That's all right.
I wanted you to know, my 45 and 48-year-old daughters took
L&M.
from
Y'all dating yourself.
gymnastics. So we know that.
We have someone in the crowd that doesn't, we don't need to know your age. It's okay. Miss Muriel and Mr. Leroy taught my daughter, so, yep.
So, yes, we've been in touch, and actually, when I was here before, because she talked about how specific heights of the ceilings and
that's right.
the, you know, what we have to have on space. We've looked a lot, you know, even previously when I had looked. But to look in this specific area was a real challenge.
That was the
too.
challenge. That was a major
definitely a challenge, so.
Okay, well, I just want to
Yeah,
make sure the
we-
director
we-
has your
okay,
contact.
For the
got phone
record,
numbers,
for
so-
the record.
Yes, ma'am.
You're two children. All right,
Thank you, ma'am. The next person signed up to address the council is Alice Ramey. That'd be you in the red jacket there, ma'am.
You know what gymnastics does to young ladies?
Makes us powerful and strong.
Not only that, they make you be able to walk in 3/8 heels at 80. Because I have hit the ceiling, okay? And you need a place that has enough high ceiling for these young kids and young boys to hit the top, okay? Oh, I'm sorry.
She's got 5 minutes. She can spend it doing whatever she wants.
I'm sorry.
I'm fair.
I know. I just had to tell you that. And also, you too. I came up here to say something about the garbage and the trees and the limbs and the leaves that are not being picked up in Ward 3. Our Ward 2, the house, don't get upset now, Ward 3, okay? But I'm telling you, in the meeting that we had, I did not know that this lady's had her leaves out there for 5 months, and you know the house. So when is the next time you get on the east side, you know, the east side, to pick up, sir?
Branch pickup will start in November.
Oh, what about the leaves? They're still falling.
Yes, every other week. If you have a difficult location, give it to me.
I will after the meeting, and thank you. And I realize it's every week, but and does the Republic garbage people still pick it up? Oh, that's good to know. Every week they're in that area and they haven't picked up one garbage. Okay? Remember that when you start paying them out. Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted that up and out because they're not doing their job, so why pay them? If they're not doing their job, get rid of them.
Thank you very much. The next person signed up to speak is Levester Hines. Everybody has a cold.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, Aldermen and Alderwomen. I am Simona White, and I reside at 213 South Durkin Drive, Springfield, Illinois, 62704. This is a friend of mine, Levester Hines from St. Louis, and he is in the entertainment field, the different things that he knows, jazz artists, and he would like to speak on some things to bring to Springfield to generate revenue in the capital city.
I don't have a lot to say, but what I'm trying to do is get popular groups, jazz, blues, R&B, to come to Springfield. I've been to Springfield a few times, and there's nothing to do. I brought buses here from St. Louis on numerous occasions, and we just went from one bar to the next bar to the next bar. And some bars we liked, some bars we didn't like, and we just hung out. But far as music and entertainment, I don't see. And I figure like Springfield would be a good place to have comedians come, jazz artists, they got new blues, Southern soul. They got new country. They got new country. I've heard country mixed with R&B. They got all kind of music out here now, and Springfield is missing out. And I just want to try and bring it to Springfield. That's it. That's all. If anybody got any questions, I'll try and answer.
We appreciate you.
Thank you for your suggestion, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
I just want to say one other thing. Thank you for the brief pink fountain. Some of the breast cancer survivors did take pictures and stuff, and I will email them to you. And thank everyone for wearing pink this month, and have a blessed evening.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Simona.
Simone. Thanks for bringing your pink today.
Is there anyone else in the chambers that wishes to address the council? We have no need for executive session. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second? Motion second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Thank you. You didn't even get what I was putting down. I'm like, do you have anything to say? I knew that you would talk about DSI. I brought it up.
Thank you for emailing me on this update.